Hey, how are you? I'm Duncan McPherson and welcome back to my channel. Today is the fourth in this series of videos about the problems you'll encounter investing in Canadian mutual funds and also the problems you'll create as an American opening a tax-free savings account, aka TFSA, here in Canada. This TFSA is equivalent to your Roth IRA in the United States. I am presenting both items here because, as you probably already know, the rules here often occur together. And let me tell you, I always see these two things get messed up together for my clients that are required to file in both Canada and the United States. So listen up. But before we get started, as usual, for more tax tips and how you can better navigate the Canadian tax system as a U.S. individual or a U.S. corporation, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell. Or skip the hassle and contact me directly through the mactax.com and I'll fix it up for you. Okay, let's get started with the Canadian tax-free savings account, aka the TFSA. TFSAs work exactly like Roth IRAs do for you in the United States. But beware, the problem you'll run into up here is that while Roth IRAs are treaty protected, TFSAs are not. So although the income you earn in the TFSA is tax exempt in Canada, any interest, dividends, or gains you earn in the TFSA will be taxed on your 1040. And if your income is high enough, you'll even be subject to the net investment tax, aka the Obamacare tax. But even if your double tax is negligible, which is not the case, you still do not want to own a TFSA if you're an American citizen, because TFSAs are considered foreign trusts in the United States. So look out, because you'll be required to annually file Form 3520 and 3520A. And you're going to hate these forms because number one, they're very expensive to handle. And number two, it's a pain in the ass to collect the information necessary to prepare them. And now, what do we all like to invest in TFSAs? Mutual funds, of course. But please, God, don't. As an American living in Canada, I highly recommend that you do not invest in Canadian mutual funds unless you are very savvy at investing and very savvy at tax. And I am giving you this advice whether you hold your mutual funds directly or through your TFSA. Don't own them, because Canadian mutual funds are considered PFICs to the IRS, which means if you invest in just one, you are going to have to fill out Form 8621 annually. And remember, that's Form 8621 for every single mutual fund you own. So if you own 5 of them, it's 5 8621s. 5 nightmares, 5 hassles, however you want to look at it. And let me tell you, the 8621 is a hornet's nest on steroids where Canadian mutual funds are concerned. And it will be expensive for you to pay someone to complete it, which will probably negate anything you're earning off of the mutual fund. But newsflash, even if your Canadian mutual fund is investing only in US stocks on a US stock exchange, it'll still be a goddamn PFIC to the IRS. And a quickie note for you on that. Please let your friends, relatives, and clients know that we got some very dishonest mutual fund people here in Canada. They tell you after you buy the mutual funds about your PFIC reporting. Another point I wish to make here for you is that often your Canadian investment advisor will tell you, don't worry about the PFIC reporting. This mutual fund has made the QEF election. Well, this is usually chocolate-covered bull. But to be fair, some mutual fund companies do handle it well with the QEF election. Now, if a fund makes a QEF election, this election should negate all the hassles of filling out Form 8621, although you still got to fill it out. The problem is the QEF information that most of these mutual funds produce will give you a massive migraine. Often you have to take that information that they give you and make a bunch of very obtuse calculations in order to complete the Form 8621. So if they've tried selling you on the fact that they've made the QEF election, just ask to see the QEF information for that particular fund to see if the information is workable. But I'll tell you right now, usually, but not always, the information is unclear and very difficult to work with. The other thing you should know about the QEF election is that often you don't get the information on time to file your tax return by October 15th. Ergo, you can often extend it to December 15th. The problem is that once you've extended your tax return to December 15th, you can no longer e-file it, which creates another hassle. My advice to you, just find a good investment advisor to help you pick a few quality Canadian stocks and forget all about the mutual funds. We got a lot of great companies up here to invest in with a lot of juicy dividends, in case you were wondering. At the end of the day, unless you are tax and investment savvy, you cannot own a TFSA or invest in Canadian mutual funds if you are a US citizen. In most situations, but not all, your costs will outweigh your benefits, and it's just not worth it. Another important quickie note for you. If you have a Canadian RRSP, which is the US equivalent of an IRA, you may own Canadian mutual funds within your RRSP. The IRS has indicated that Form 8621 is not required for your mutual funds that you own within your Canadian RRSP. Also, under US domestic law, your US RRSP is not required to file Form 3520 nor Form 3520A. But note that your RRSP is not a totally free lunch. There are treaty disclosures to make in the year that you open your RRSP. So contact me right away if this applies to you. All right, my friend, that's it for today. Did I open up an unknown frustration for you? If so, my apologies. You probably didn't even know that this was an issue before today. Am I right? But you probably watched this far because you're already having a hard time when it comes to taxes as a US citizen up here. So if this is you, don't forget, you can always call me at the MacTax.com and I'll make sure that you will never have to worry about this shit. And of course, as always, don't forget to subscribe for more tax saving tips. Until next time, stay sharp, stay compliant, and stay out of trouble, and I'll see you on the next video.